Hi everyone, my name is Tamara, and this is episode 8 of the Caffeinated Craft Mamas podcast. My podcast all about my knitting and crocheting life in Southwest Missouri, where I live with my partner Richard, our 3 kids, and our dog. I hope you all are well. It has been 2 weeks since my last podcast, and I have lots to share with you. So we're going to go ahead and get started with some admin things. If you would like to follow me on social media, please feel free. I am on Instagram as caffeinated_craft_mama. I try to post there 2 to 3 times a week, mainly updates on projects I'm working on and things like that. So if you'd like to go give me a follow, please feel free to do that. Also, if you like this video or any of my others, please hit that subscribe button. It helps me know that I'm putting out content that people enjoy and gets my podcast out there. I would also like to let everyone know, and I've been meaning to tell you guys this every time I podcast, there are notes in the description box down below that give you like what needle size I use, what yarn I use, links to designers' Instagrams. I won't ever link Ravelry on here, but I will link the designer's Instagram so you can go and see if their patterns are available anywhere else. So now that all the admin stuff is out of the way, we will go ahead and get started with finished objects, of which I have 3. The first finished object I have is my sister's socks. I finished these a day or 2 after I podcasted last time. They're just my typical sock recipe, Judy Becker's Magic cast on, 60 stitch body on a US size 1, 2.25 millimeter, popped in a fish lips kiss heel, did a short cuff with a Knitty Natty bind off. I like this bind off a little bit better than the Very Pink Knit super stretchy bind off because this one I feel like doesn't bow out quite as much. So that's kind of the bind off I think I'm going to be using from now on. These are knit out of, this was Cascade Heritage, I believe it's Christmas Red, and then this is Cascade Heritage Prints in color number 84, I believe. So yep, I'm going to stick these into the diaper bag as soon as I am done recording this video so that the next time I see her, I can get them to her. Because I've seen her and my brother-in-law like 2 or 3 times and I keep forgetting to give them their socks. So I also finished today, they're actually still wet, hence that they're on the blockers, Richard's pair of socks. This is Slurpy Swamp by the Hippie Hobbit. She actually, I don't think dyes yarn anymore, but this is like deep stash yarn. So again, I did a Judy Becker's Magic cast on. These are 60 stitches on a US size 2. I did a fish lips kiss heel, Knitty Natty bind off. Like I said, they're still wet, they're still blocking. He actually wanted to wear them to work today, and I was like, nope, sorry, I need to keep them for the podcast. You can have them tomorrow. So he'll be glad that the podcast is recorded so that he can have those. Okay, my third finished object is what I am wearing. I finished my Tegna top. I'm going to stand up so you guys can see the lace at the bottom. I knit this out of Yarntopia, which is a yarn from Hobby Lobby. It's a fingerling weight, 100% acrylic yarn. I really love the drape on this. I'm really happy with the way it fits. Oh, excuse me. It does have a little fuzz, so I keep getting fuzz in my nose. But it turned out beautifully. I'm really glad I reknit this. I'll pop in a picture of the one that I have previously knit, and it fits me much differently than this one does. So I'm really glad that I decided to go ahead and reknit this. I got it done in plenty of time for the family photos, and I'm super excited about them. So once we get those photos back, I'll pop a picture in at the end so you guys can see how it turned out in the photos as well. So it took me just shy of 3 weeks, I think, to knit this, which, we'll be honest, I was like 5 rows away from the end of the lace the last time you guys saw this. We've had a lot going on this last couple of weeks, and I had some nights where I wasn't sleeping well. So insomnia knitting for the win. I was able to knit most of the body because I couldn't sleep. So I was able to get a lot of that done. But I am sleeping much better this week, so yay for that. And my top is done. So All right, let's move on to whips. Now, I have a story about these. So I finished my Tegna top and I posted in my Instagram stories and I was like, oh, I really want to start something new. Like I have the yarn picked out for like 3 new projects. I really want to start something new. And then a friend of mine on Instagram, you know who you are, messaged me and she's like, oh yeah, you should cast on something new. You earned it. But what about your test knit and your blanket and your dinosaur sweater? And I'm like, oh, okay. So I pulled those whips out and I kind of laid out a plan. I do this for myself sometimes. I will pick out a project, pick out the next project and be like, okay, when you finish this project, you get to start this one. So I'll tell you what project I've decided to start after I finish these. I do have one new cast on, but that's because Nicole and I are knitting it together. So we'll get into that in a minute. All right, the first one we're going to talk about is my big Horn Henley pullover. This is a test knit that I am doing for Amanda at Lovely by Lee, and it's just a broken rib pullover. It's gonna be so squishy. It's for Richard, and I was where the pumpkin is the last time you guys saw this, so I've gotten a lot done, especially considering I was working on the Tegna as much as I was. So it's kind of hard to see, but it's just super squishy. I love it so much. I'm on my 3rd ball of yarn. I've got, I believe, 5 inches to go until I split for the sleeves. So getting this done by June 5th should be no problem. It's kind of become my TV knitting now because it's a bit of a mindless knit. It's a broken ribbed pattern, so you don't really have to pay too much attention to it. I'm knitting this out of let's see. I know what this is. Yeah, Knit Picks Mighty Stitch in navy. This is not my favorite yarn to work with, again, because of the fuzz. You can see the halo on this one. This has been in my bag. Kind of see that fuzzy halo. It gets in my nose so bad. I think that's part of the reason I don't like mohair too. But it's going well and he's gonna love it. He keeps squishing it when I work on it and stuff, so I know he's going to really enjoy it. I wish Amanda had made this in kid sizes as well. I may have to try to do some math because how cute would it be for William and Richard to have matching sweaters? Oh, just break my heart. Be so cute. Okay, so yeah, hopefully I will have the sleeve split and possibly the body done the next time you guys see that. All right, my next whip is Owens Dino Roar sweater. This is a pattern by Meg Reagan of Bad Wolf Girl Studios. I'll show you the front. I've knit this for William, so if you've watched my past episodes, you've probably seen it. It's a super cute top-down sweater. I've got the kid sizes. I am knitting him a 6 to 8 year old size, so it'll fit him for a year or 2. And he picked the colors out. It is, I love this yarn in royal and then just some red heart in red. The reason I hadn't picked this up in a while is because I had messed up the color work. So I had to take back several rows because one of the dinosaur's heads was crooked and it was like right in the front of the sweater. So it was gonna be super obvious that I had messed it up. So I tinked back, fixed it, and I just finished the last row of the dinosaurs' heads. So I am hoping to have all, if not just part of the color work done the next time you guys see this. His birthday is at the end of this month and I would really like to get to give this to him for his birthday. And once I get past the color work and split for the sleeves, this can become my waiting for William to fall asleep while sitting in his room knitting. Really long title, but you know. The joys of having a toddler who won't let you leave the room, but you can't hold because he won't go to sleep. Kind of stinks. All right. This is my new cast on, living in a bag. You guys have seen a million times, but I love it, so I'm going to show it again. It's my Lila Styles Lord of the Rings bag. And my friend Nicole and I decided to go ahead and cast on some sock head hats. Richard had a hat that was near and dear to him. It was a real tree hat, and he lost it. And he was so upset. And Nicole's husband wanted her to knit him a hat as well. So we both picked out some yarn and started some hats. This is $3.98 yarn, I believe in the colorway Pavement. They're a semi-local yarn store to me. I got this on our trip to Branson when Richard and I went. And I've just got a little bit of a cuff started. I'm knitting this on a US size 2 because I'm a super loose knitter. So I'll show you the other side too. I've got a little bit of color pooling there. It'll be interesting to see what happens with that. So I'm knitting the size small because I swatched and got much smaller gauge than the pattern called, well, I got fewer stitches per inch than the pattern called for. So after learning my lesson with the space clouds pullover, I'm not gonna mess that up again. So that's a fun, just kind of easy project for us. Part of the reason we started it too is because I've got several long-term projects with the sweaters and the blanket that I'm getting ready to talk about and a few things like that. And Nicole has several blankets going, so we wanted a quick project that's going to give us some of that instant gratification. And we are gearing up for summer sock camp, so I wanted her to get a chance to work with some fingerling weight yarn before we started knitting socks, because she's never worked with that type of yarn before. So that should be fun. Okay. My cousin, Abby, graduates next week, and I've already told her her gift wouldn't be done. Big shocker. I'm one of those people that half the time will gift things to people and they still have the needles in them and I have to finish it. It's the thought that counts, right? Anyway, here is the corner to corner blanket that I'm working on for Abby. I was right here the last time you guys saw it, so I've gotten a little bit done. This is loosely based on a pattern from Megan Makes Do, Megan Can Do on Instagram. I'll link her down below. It's her Madigan Mystery crochet along. But I just saw the photo and just kind of based it off of this. All the blocks will look the exact same. So hopefully the next time you guys see this, I'm putting it on here to make myself work on it. Hopefully the next time you guys see this, I will have this square done and the next one started. So crochet, especially with this heavier yarn, actually really hurts my elbow. So I'm only able to do about 2 to 3 rows a day. So right now this is my William bedtime knitting, because as long as I don't have to change color, I can I can crochet this in the dark. So hopefully I'll have a little bit more work on it the next time you guys see it, and we'll get it done. So those are all of my whips right now. Set this over here. I do want to talk about, well, what I said earlier, the future knits. Things that once I finish these, I will start. When I finish Richard's sweater, I am going to cast on, I already have the yarn for this, the Salem sweater by Dragon Horde Designs, Tristan. This will be my first sweater that I have actually needed to read a chart. So the cool thing about this Tegna is she writes out each row what you need to do. So I didn't have to read a chart at all. Now for the Salem sweater, I am going to have to read a chart because there's a cable and bobble detail that goes down each sleeve. So it'll be an interesting new experience for me. I am going to use Wool of the Andes Sport that I bought. The stuff that I thought was super wash. I thought it would look really pretty in that sweater. I am also planning on starting, when I finish Owens' sweater, a telegram cardigan by Becky Sorensen. I'll pop a photo in here. And I am basing this on one that Hannah of the Corner of Craft knit. and it's actually really close to the same color. It's some yarn I got from Hobby Lobby, so I already have the yarn for that one. And then when I finish Abby's blanket, I will be starting my Santa's Workshop sweater. I've been trying to cast this on for a long time. Just a second, back to the coffee. This will be my first fingering weight color work sweater, and I'm a little intimidated, not gonna lie. So I have been putting it off and putting it off. I've had the yarn for it for 2 years, but I've decided this year, July 1st, I'm going to cast that on because a sweater's not going to beat me. I can knit color work. I've knit several of her color work patterns in the past. Excuse me. And I shouldn't be afraid of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do it. So that's about it for future knits and for whips and whatnot. So if you're just here for the crafty content, that's it. We'll see you later. If you're here for life and junk, we'll talk about that for a few minutes. William's testing went okay-ish. He went back there by himself to begin with, but I ended up having to go back there part of the way through the testing. We will know something in the next couple of weeks about whether he's going to qualify for services in August. And we've been having some issues with Jade at school. She's gotten into a fight, so she's currently grounded, and life is not fun for her, but hopefully she'll get her act together and things will be fine. We are going up to see my in-laws soon, so that will be good, and get to see everybody for our family reunion. And then other than that, we've just kind of been chilling out, going day by day. So not a whole lot to report other than, you know, about William's testing and stuff. So at this point, I'm basically just rambling. It's been a long day. My mom and I have started training for a half marathon. This will be the 4th one I've run and like the 10th one she's run. So we got up early this morning and ran, so I should have had more coffee, but that's okay. I'm trying to limit the amount of caffeine I'm drinking, not add to it. So anyway, I hope you all are well. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys are working on, and I will talk to you really soon. Bye.